Where would we go on our first date?
I usually go to the gym for the first date.
You're more looking for an accessory at that point.
Okay.
And also, why does it matter how much a girl goes out?
Sure.
You know?
Yep.
It's like so controlling vibes.
Okay.
And like, you don't even have a degree or like, what was your job again?
I work for Versace.
Oh, period. But still, like, that is like such an ick.
Okay, no worries.
But nice to meet you.
Very nice to meet you, thank you.
And is she typically somebody that you would go for?
She's dressed very nice, but actually she's not my type at all.
What's your type?
Not you.
No, you were trying to run down the line on him and it didn't work. Shut up. Let's move on to the next one.
And when I got with him, I'm like, oh, you got a prize. That's all I ever knew. I'm like, I'm beautiful, I'm gifted, I'm talented. I ain't slept with all your friends. I ain't been out here. I'm not a hoe. I don't have a track record. I'm just listing off the things. I'm telling you, year one, I was like, oh, I'm trash. I'm like, I am terrible at this. As you just stated, because when you are single, especially when you just got girlfriends around you, your girlfriends are not telling you about yourself. I'm sorry, they're not. Especially if you are beautiful and bossed up. So you most likely got a bunch of yes women around you anyways. Ain't nobody really pulling friends aside saying, hey, I notice you kind of be lying a lot. Or I notice you kind of, you be tripping and snapping and popping off all the time. Like, what's going on with this anger? I noticed that you might want to go to therapy. Friends don't. Now, mine, yes. But most friends aren't really doing that. It isn't until you get married, if you pay attention, where you're like, oh my goodness, I have a lot of work to do. Those first 3-4 years, I was shocked at how trash I was. I ain't even gonna lie. I'm like, wow, I didn't even know I could be this bad. I'm impatient. I am angry. I have so much trauma and toxicity in me. I think I'm right. I say I want a leader, but I want to be one. I say I want him to wear the pants, but nigga, move aside. I want to wear them actually. I say I want you to be in control, but I think I'm smarter. I have pride. I have ego.
7 kids, 7 different baby daddies. Yeah, 7 different baby daddies. I heard it. You heard it right here. 7 different baby daddies, 7 kids. Had my first child at age 14. Yes, and I do receive 3,000 in EBT food stamps. Yes. We are so happy. We are so blessed. We are very thankful. Yes, we are happy where we're at in life right now. We are happy. Yes, we are happy. Yes. Like I said, it's going to be haters. People going to be jealous and all that. Y'all can keep y'all little comments. But at the end of the day, my kids are taken care of. That all that matters, okay? That's it. That's all that matters. We ain't worried about y'all. Peace.
It's been day 5 and I have not received no food stamps. My disability checks is on hold. My cash benefits is not coming no more. They're still pending. It is the taxpayer's job to pay for my kids to eat and for my kids to be taken care of. I have over 2,000 followers on TikTok and I can't get not one person to send me 50 cents. If you're watching this video and you can't send me nothing, I'm blocking you. I'm blocking you. 50 cents. My kids have not ate in 5 days. It is the taxpayer's responsibility to take care of my kids. Yo, I just seen a video and that's exactly what the lady was saying, bro. I'm dead. It's called get a job.
The reason why men do this.
And what reason would that be?
The reason that men say I'm staying single, which in other terms basically means I'm also willing to have a string of hookups that mean nothing to get my own needs satisfied.
I just love these type of arguments. They are so much fun.
The reason that they do this is because they are not willing to face themselves.
Oh, is that what they mean? Most men usually aren't known for speaking with double meanings. They usually say exactly what they meant, but do go on.
Any man that says, I'm staying single is because they do not want to be in a situation that is causing them to face parts of themselves that have been denied, that have been repressed, where they are not taking accountability for the way that they show up in relationships. And obviously, if they're not in relationship or opening themselves up to the right person, they're not going to have this mirroring. And so by isolating and saying, this is why men are staying single, it's just basically another way of saying, I don't want to face myself.
Fascinating, but yet it doesn't seem to be based on any sort of logical thinking whatsoever. It rather seems to be coming from an emotional place called the projection section. And that's why I love these sort of arguments, because if we're to, in the spirit of equality, say that women do the exact same things for the exact same reasons, and that's why a lot of women choose to stay single, well then, I imagine there would be a lot of individuals that would be very upset about that, because some individuals do like staying single because it's peaceful and to avoid toxic behavior. Nothing more than that.
We don't care about how independent you are. We don't care about how much money you make. We don't care about what Ivy League school you went. It does not matter to us. Why is it that you find Anthony Davis, $300 million is what he made. He just married the waitress. What woman in here, $300 million, gonna marry the man in the drive-thru? You don't raise your hands because I'm gonna kick you out of here for lying. You're not gonna do it. You 300 million strong, and he's saying, can you please drive up, man? Hold on for a second. You want biscuits with that? He looked kind of good. I like the way his nameplate is. You ain't gonna give him he can't even ask you a question outside of that restaurant. That's the truth. But you can take a man who's a multi-billionaire and she comes from nothing. She can be walking barefoot with dirty feet. But if there's something about her that he likes, that's who he's gonna marry. It's just the truth. It's how we are. Why? We're provided. I can change all of that. I can put shoes on her feet. I can clean her up. I can do all of that. I can't buy femininity.
How do you think this is affecting me? It's the lowest I've ever felt. I've never been given the chance to be there for my son. And it's all because she lied to me. She robbed me of the chance to be a father. And now I never had a father growing up. Now I'm doing the same thing to my son, but not because I wanted to. Darla did this to me. Look, she's heartless. She lied all these years and just casually tells me the truth because she finally feels bad about it. What kind of person is that?
Yeah, I just want to say I am so deeply sorry, and I know I've messed up beyond. Like, I know I messed up so bad. Again with the sorry. Look, you robbed me of a chance to be a father. You know my family history, all right? You know I grew up without a dad, and now I'm reliving that same thing, but not because of my own fault. It's your fault. Now I can never get that back with my son. It's not too late, Kenny. It's really not too late. Like, you can still be a father. You can still be there for him now. I know this is messed up what I did, but don't take it out on him. That you can still be there.
My son calls your boyfriend dad, all right? My son is a stranger to me. I am a stranger to my own son, and it's because of your lies. I've nothing to do with that.
I'm sorry. Like, that
really
wasn't my intention. That wasn't my intention. I thought you didn't want to be a dad. That's what you told me when I was pregnant.
After what you did to me, my family, and my son, he'll never see me that way as a father, and I'll never get these 5 years back, and he'll think it's all my fault. All right? If my son lets me off the hook, how about this? If he lets me off the hook, then maybe I'll do the same for you.
Somebody in the comments said the boyfriend has left and she needs the help. That's why she's sorry now.
Already asleep, so she doesn't even know I'm gone, and I get home before she gets up. Yeah. So she has no idea that I'm gone. Mike does. I've left a couple times and he's been awake out in the backyard, and he's woken up. I've come home and he's awake, and he's in the garage or something like that. So I know he knows I'm still gone when he wakes up. Right. He hasn't asked or said anything. It's none of his business what I do. None. No. I'm not going to tell him. He doesn't need to know. And
for any of his business, you're Tracy's.
Right.
And even that's none of his business.
Right. Like, he doesn't need to know where I'm going. None. Like, I leave the house all the time. Like, cause I'll go and see Anthony, and like during the week, I'll just go over to his house and say hi. I'll only be over there for like 40 minutes, and then I'll come home or whatever. But I just leave.
What's the dumbest thing you've ever heard? Someone's written, I drive for Uber on the weekends, and one time a girl who was in her late 20s told me that I was making her uncomfortable. I haven't said a word the whole trip, so I asked how I could make the situation better. She said she didn't like how I kept playing with the fidget stick in the middle of my car. I drive a manual vehicle.
Stop it!
She then told me that I didn't need to use it because her car didn't have that, and then claimed to be a mechanic.
Oh my God, Crant. Why are people so
The fidget stick thing.
The fidget stick.
But her car doesn't have one, so it's not required.
Oh my, people are so...
I just said, okay, no worries, I won't use
Who
it.
are their people? Who are these people's parents?
I mean, these modern women really are looking for ways to make people's lives miserable.
Well, if this isn't a case of how being greedy can go very wrong, I don't know what is. This is Charlotte Padrell, and she thought she was going to get a pay date from her boyfriend of only a year, Israel Adesanya, who is a UFC two-time champion UFC fighter. He's Nigerian from New Zealand. Now, what Charlotte decided to do is that once they broke up after a little over a year, she decided that she was going to sue him in court for half of his assets. And he has a $15 million fortune, right? Charlotte felt like she deserved half. The basis of her lawsuit is essentially what Mariah Carey did. She felt like that they had spent a year together. She expected to get married to him, and then he dropped her like a hot potato. So she was upset and was like, well, I'm going to sue him because I deserve half of his UFC fortune because I helped him along the way with his career in that year. Mind you, they had never been married. They didn't have kids. They had nothing. Well, she herself has $1 million fortune because she's a real estate mogul. What ended up happening is he put his $15 million fortune in his mother's name. His mother manages his fortune because he had an ex-wife that he did not want to have to split assets with. So essentially what he did is kind of shady, I'm not going to lie, but it helped out in his favor this time. His mother has all full control of his assets and his fortune. His mother has been managing his assets since he started his UFC career. So when they went through the lawsuit and she actually won, it looked like he had made zero earnings for his career, and she was worth $1 million. So Charlotte was ordered to pay $500,000 to him because she looked like the breadwinner. So this was this was a Uno reverse like no other Uno reverses. I think I've heard this story before with a soccer player that this happened with his wife. However, she was not a wife. She was a girlfriend of only 1 year, thinking that she was owed half of his fortune. She didn't put years in with this man. She put 1 year in. And look what God did. It's karma. I'm just saying it's karma. What do you think below? Comment your thoughts. I want to hear what you have to say about this. This had me cackling. This had me cackling for many reasons that I'm not going to get into, but it had me cackling.
If you had to delete all social media accounts to save your relationship, would you do it without no hesitation?
Hey, boo, no. Absolutely not.
Yeah, I'm right with you when you're right. I'm not deleting anything, baby. I'm going to delete you before I delete those social media apps. I'm so sorry, especially in this day and age where social media plays a huge role in most people's careers. Absolutely not. Like, I'm not deleting anything. I'm so sorry.
I would like to know, what does it come down to that deleting
my social media is going to help our relationship? Child, I would have to hit somebody.
What has happened?
Listen, Linda, what I want to say is at this point, okay, deleting social media might just save the world, okay?
If that man is asking you to delete your social media, you need to delete his butt. And drop down in our comments and let us know, would you or would you not? And if you say you would, we're going to judge you and we're going to get back to the show.
Not even making any money off of them. This is the problem. Y'all not getting anything from them but attention and validation. And y'all wonder why men ain't chasing y'all like they used to.
If you're 40, you're never gonna find love. I left my marriage and now I'm a side chick.
I just came to the realization that, like, if you're 40 years old, you're never gonna find love. Like, oh my God. Sorry, I woke up like really, really emotional because I was married for, oh my God, stop. I was married for over 20 years, and like, I was so used to being a wife. Like, I loved being married, you know? Like, I love being a wife. I love having like that one one person I love coming home to and like venting all my to. And
But yet still you left. If you love that so much, why would you leave your marriage just to now become a side chick? that's just stupid.
These women be going out in the worst way possible.
Wait, how old are you?
I'm 22.
You lying like hell.
How old do you think I am?
I ain't gonna lie, you look kind of like 40-ish.
Is it the coat?
Nah, it's just her face, fool.
I'm
not trying to be mean.
I wouldn't do that.
I'm not even trying to be mean. I'm being genuine.
It's
But
just
you,
it's the coat. 40?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
You pretty though. Like you, I would.
Hey, that's some old money type of shit.
But like
though.
you
That's
quick.
off of it.
You know what I'm saying? Can I get your number?
No, absolutely not. 40? I'm 28. She said
So why you
we're
lying?
done.
Why you? See, that's immature. You already lying about your age.
And you just called me. You took it too far though.
What you want me to lie to her?
You could lie, yes.
I ain't say you look 18.
That's what you do to like compliment people. 18 is crazy, but 40 is insane.
You look grown as hell. That's my point.
Thank you.
Okay.
But 40 is insane.
So me saying 40 for getting your number, or you just not.
Is that recorded or is that a comb? Oh, okay.
It's like type shit.
But you can't misuse $1 million+ that fast. Like, what are you doing with it? Burning it to keep yourself warm at night? So this absolutely makes no sense. You got Anthony Edwards, who, if y'all remember last year, he chose to pay for child support 18 years ahead of time. $1,080,000 to Aisha Howard. Now it turns out she's been misusing the money and she's coming back for more. Apparently she's seeking a one-time payment of $500,000, $50,000 annually, and I don't know how true this is. She wants a public apology on top of everything else. If y'all remember, Anthony Edwards basically said he wanted nothing to do with the situation. It was supposed to be something that was a one-off and it was not meant to procreate. She chose to keep the baby and he says, look, fine, you want to keep it? Actually, I'll pay all the money ahead of time and we'll just have a clean break. I don't want nothing to do with nothing. She accepted it and now she's been misusing the funds and wants more. At the end of the day, if y'all agreed on terms and you received the money, you can't come back for more so soon. Because that just means that it wasn't necessarily for the child. It was for you, essentially. Which is fine, but you can't misuse $1 million+ that fast. Like, what are you doing with it? Burning it to keep yourself warm at night? I don't know. What do y'all think? Is this fair? Should she get more money? Or did Anthony Edwards already do what he needed to do? Y'all agreed on terms and you need to just let that man go free and be with the family he already created before. I don't know, man. Y'all comment down below.
At $1 million, you're earning over the average of men and women. That's like $55,000 a year for doing nothing. Plus, if you want to go get a part-time job, I mean, you're living the dream right there. What else do you want?
Like, you're such a major green flag that I'm like, I can't.
Yeah, that's okay. But thank you so much for saying that.
No, I love the way you interacted with everyone. You're so polite and like, you're just down for like the criticism as well. But I think it's like too much of a green flag that I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna ruin you.
No worries, no worries.
Wait, so you're saying he's too perfect, therefore you're gonna reject him?
Yeah.
Understood.
Makes sense,
It's
yeah?
gonna be your heartbreak.
Oh, definitely.
Do y'all know how stupid y'all sound? Somebody in the comments said, my son experienced this. Girl said he was too nice, too optimistic, too kind, too romantic, too caring, and understanding. After almost 2 years together, and right before he was going to ask her to marry him, she told him all of this and walked away. It broke him. He now only focuses on himself and his own personal and financial growth. He is very hesitant to even go on a date. Well, they're wasting the man's time. They say they want one thing and they go and do another. So you essentially walked away from it. I mean, she's sitting up here talking about he's a green flag, but I'm going to ruin him. Ruin him doing what? Why are you even on the show if that's the case? Girl, go sit down. And who do you think that you're going to ruin looking like you look? Y'all be, oh man, I really be out here. I be really getting around. Well, y'all be acting, once again, these modern women be acting like they're Beyonce or something like that. They be acting like they one of these celebrities. Who you gonna ruin? What you be doing?
So the girlies is mad because I stated that it doesn't matter whether you wait to lay down with a man the first, second, third night, or whether you wait 90 days, which I'm not understanding. The fact of the matter is, ladies, and this is no shade to my girlies, because I understand that sometimes, yes, you do have to wait and you do have to take your time to get to know somebody. But what I'm trying to say is that where's that energy when y'all be picking and choosing? And when y'all be picking and choosing when to break the rules? When y'all be picking and choosing what men y'all gonna let? Because these are the same females that in high school didn't want the smart kid that was sitting in the back. Y'all wanted the foolery. The man that was throwing paper balls and not listening to the teacher and slamming desk and shit on the floor. So where was that energy then? Ladies, y'all do know that we only have the say so of when we're gonna have children, right? When it comes to marriage and stuff like that, that's up to the men. But this generation is so up and worrying about the stereotypes and what cultural norms are that we think that we in charge of when a nigga put a ring on our finger too. Yes, we in charge of when we giving up our nookie and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, whether you make a nigga wait or not is not going to determine whether he wifes you or not. You can make a nigga wait 30 days, 90 days, and he will wait until you let him hit, and he will still curve you. Y'all mad and y'all be living in lies.
Oh, definitely height. It's like they want this dramatic difference in height, even though they're 5 feet tall and they're expecting like 6'5".
I think judging guys for starting their bald is crazy.
When girls have a ridiculous amount for meher.
Asking for like 100K, 50K, with no consideration to like the person's financial standing. Depending on who, a millionaire, then yeah.
Girls immediately wanting to immediately move out, but there are sometimes different things at play. The guy may only have one parent or is the only sole caretaker of that family.
I know that we have the right to ask for anything and everything in regards to meher, but I think we should also be respectful, considerate, and mindful.
Exorbitant meher. If you're asking for 50K and a cat and a house and a Mercedes, make sure your expectations are reasonable for meher.
I would say culture. I don't think that's ridiculous, but more so just being too strict on culture and caring too much about what in-laws and other people are going to say about it.
This world has made women think that they have to have a ready-made man. When a woman finds the right man, even if he doesn't have that 6-figure salary as of yet, he hasn't finished his education, she can help him become the man she wants him to be.
I've seen women request men that come from specific careers. I completely understand when it comes from the fear of like financial stability, but I think to request someone who's specifically a lawyer or a doctor, that's just toxic at that point.
One thing I've learned from my father is that careers can always change. Character is a huge thing. If someone matches all these things on paper and they don't have good character, it doesn't really mean anything. The most important thing is having tawakkul, you know.
I appreciate your father teaching you that, because a lot of these modern women act like they don't know to look for integrity and character.
Okay, at this point, I don't even care if this gets me canceled. Can we stop being naked on the internet? I was just scrolling on my Instagram feed and I saw Portia Williams fully naked, promoting her hair care line, promoting her hair, her weave. And I was just like, but why do you have to be naked though? Honestly, I don't feel like enough people in society think about children and the implications of these images on their screen. And if you're like, oh, your children shouldn't even be on Instagram. Instagram, the internet, TikTok, it's a part of life. You can literally be scrolling and have your kid in your arms and you scroll past a naked woman. Like, I don't think people really understand what that does to the psyche of children. Please, 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 please. Let's start bringing back morality. Like, I don't even care if this gets me canceled. Somebody has to say it, because everybody online is freedom, this one, that one. But where has it gotten us? Has it gotten us any more free? Has it gotten us any more liberated? Or has it just gotten women to just show their whole bodies online, posing, showing their butt? Now you're naked. Like, what are we really doing? Like, I think somebody has to, like, this is not even a content piece. This is not a skit. This is not going in a playlist. Why are we naked on the internet? That is, no one's gonna convince me that that's okay. Like, no one's gonna convince me, yeah, my liberation is, no, your liberation is not tied to posting your body parts for the entire world to see. Please. This is not about religion. This is not about political party, none of that. Can we pull back? Like, I think we've OD'd, honestly. And if you really collect sense, if you really know what I'm talking about, you can agree. I really feel like we've OD'd, and I feel like somebody, which is gonna be me, is gonna be the one to say, can we stop? Like, can we actually stop this nonsense? This world is too freaked out. We've passed the point of expression, and now we're literally showing pornography online.
If you have pictures of yourself and you're half naked on your Instagram, please, I'm asking you, can you take it down? Like, can you actually take it down? When I used to live in Dallas, I used to drive down the highway and there would be this huge sign, I'm talking about huge sign of a strip club, like an advertisement for a strip club, and the girls were in bikinis and it's like gentlemen's club, da-da-da-da-da. And I was just thinking like, obviously I'm desensitized because I'm 30 years old, right? But I'm like, think about like a 5-year-old seeing that image on their screen. Huge lips, come now, party, strip club. Like, where are we going as a society? Can we please stop? If you have naked pictures, if you have half naked pictures, if you're covering your take it down. Like, I'm not even trying to be funny no more. Take it down.
Well, you know that these women are going to call you a pick-me. These modern women who don't have any sense are going to call you a pick-me. And what I'm happy to report is that you have a lot of women in the comments here that are backing up what she's saying. That are saying, yeah, we need to hold these women accountable. I mean, for me, that's fantastic because it lets me know that for sure, if they're backing her up, there are a lot of women out here that are still good women that have morals.
So if you go to Medellin, Colombia, you will walk down the streets and you will see girls on a scale of 1 to 10 physically. You will see 9s and 10s working at a taco shop or doing janitorial work on the side of the street with a very minimalist life. Very happy. Smile on their face, probably live at home with their parents, don't even have a car, don't have anything materialistic. Very approachable, very friendly, just very grateful to be alive and easy to date as a guy. On the flip side, here in the States, there will be girls that on a scale 1 to 10 on the bottom half of that scale that are challenging to date, very pretentious, non-approachable. Guys will approach them like, oh, like you're creeping me out. Very, very challenging to date. And for that reason, I'm like, guys, like this is not normal here in the US. When I go travel to all these countries, Hungary, Budapest, Ireland, Australia, everywhere else in the world, women are like a lot more approachable, a lot more easy to get along with. They're less pretentious.
I just saw a video of this girl saying, I watched the WNBA and I watched the NBA, and the New York Liberty can beat these NBA teams. And then proceeds to say the Orlando Magic, the Houston Rockets, the Detroit Pistons. You guys know, love the WNBA, huge advocate for it. Also love the NBA, have been covering it for most of my career. This is the kind of stuff that gives ammo for the men to make fun of us. No, the New York Liberty absolutely cannot beat any NBA team, and likely not even a G League team, and likely not even a Division I men's college basketball team. Craziest part was that there were so many girls in the comments saying, yeah, absolutely. And there's other teams they could beat too. We should just not do this. Us as women are setting ourselves up when we make comments like this. This is what we shouldn't be doing. The women are amazing. Just leave them on the women's side. Just don't get the men involved, please. Please.
A woman addicted to Instagram will devalue everything you do as a man. Why? Because her perception of reality is warped. Every day she sees other women getting showered with flowers, taken on yachts, with new handbags and accessories. Her brain then locks this in as normal, and any gesture that you make as a man is seen as just the bare minimum. Her social media feed shows her men who are flawless, rich, fit, charming, never tired, never angry, never wrong. Her sense of happiness has become totally visual. She doesn't live in moments, she captures them. On trips, it's not about the atmosphere, but how good this will look in a shot. I mean, if it can't go on a story, it's like it never happened. Just remember one thing. You will never be happy with a woman who's performing for others while you are trying to show up for her.
I'm not sure which man needs to hear this today, but I know at least one of you does, so please hear me. I know that social media is full of a narrative that you're not doing enough as a man, that you don't provide enough, that you need more money, that you have to, do all of these things and the whining and the dining, or you're not enough. And I just want to encourage you and remind you that you are, let's start there, you are enough, you do have purpose, and that not every woman thinks that way. And a lot of that content is driven from unhealed spaces. And what they do is they take one or two situations that they allowed and they put it on the mass of you, and it is not true. And I just want to remind you to not ever lose sleep over the opinion of sheep.
what's up with men? I don't know. I wanted to ask you, men don't come up and ask or talk to you anymore. There was this cute guy. He went to the bar at one point, so I was like, oh, let me go to the bar too. So I like saddled up next to him at the bar and kind of like gave like a look. And he looked right at me and then like looked away. I was like, okay, well, never mind. Like I was seeing something that apparently wasn't actually happening. And as we left, one of the other bachelorettes on this trip was like, oh my gosh, that guy kept looking at you. Did you guys talk? I was like, wait, what? You saw it too? I guess I could have said, hi, how are you? I don't know why I didn't. I guess I was like, I made that move. Meet me the other 75% of the way or whatever it is.
It is becoming like that. Like, I think that there's a shift in it. And honestly, women have to take more of the reins in a way. Maybe we should have a man on and ask him what that's like. Why don't they do that?
A dating expert.
Is there a dating expert man that would like to come on this podcast?
I can't remember many times of like I've been approached. And that has been like hard on my self-confidence because I've seen it happen to my friends. Specifically like these two friends that are like drop dead gorgeous, like fit all the beauty standards, like petite. Obviously I'm not like harping on them, but I'm always just like, why doesn't that happen to me? Am I like intimidating somehow? Am I putting off like a certain vibe? I like to be like, it's just my height, I guess. And I'm just too broad of shoulders for someone to approach me. But like, I've been approached by women. And so I wonder if it really is, it's almost switching these days of like, people are just changing.
Be real with me.
Don't turn your princes into frogs.
Delulu, why?
There are women who will turn princes into frogs. Women don't realize they do that because we're so programmed to criticize men. From movies, the shows, the music that we listen to. We're never thinking, oh, maybe there's a good reason for why they did that. We're always thinking the worst reason of it and then start spiraling off of those thoughts, which isn't fair to them. Well, that's where we start losing respect because that's where the criticism starts. You can teach and guide a person just by being yourself. You can encourage a person with a certain behavior. Like, hey, I really love that you did that. Thank you so much. Instead of, next time do it like this. Well, you wouldn't do that to your friend. Why disrespect your partner?
A lot of people have an idea of who they want their partner to be, and then they will try to morph their partner into that person when their partner never wanted to be that in the first place. That's where a lot of resentment comes in, because you're forcing your partner to change when they didn't sign up for that. In a relationship, people just want to feel accepted and loved.
The more you try to morph someone into what you want them to be, they might do it and try to make you happy, but it will build resentment because every time they do that, it will be with an energy of reluctance.
What advice do you have for people that are dating?
Stop thinking about what your idea of love should look like and just be in the moment.
All right, thank you so much. What was your name?
Johanna.
Preston, nice to meet you.
I don't think women are built to deal with men's emotions.
But I handle yours.
Sometimes.
Sometimes? What do you mean?
I'm not saying you don't listen. That's not what I'm saying. A man is very afraid to share all of his emotions with his wife because there is a cost to it.
How so? What
if
cost?
I tell you that I'm scared or I'm nervous or something in the business has me shook, in the moment you might be like, hey, that's okay. But deep down inside, there's a part of you that starts to feel unsafe. And that shows up in different ways. It'll start to show up in the lack of connection. It'll start to show up in going to old patterns because you're trying to protect yourself. Sometimes I'm afraid to tell you if there's financial issues or the business isn't running the way it could be, because if I create scarcity or fear in you, then I also have to clear that up. It creates more work for me.
Yeah.
So sometimes I would rather not say anything at all. And this is why so many men just choose not to talk.
He's very easy with her. He was very gentle with her. He gave her the answer. He didn't attack. He just said, this is why I'm not saying anything. But I don't really feel like I can tell you everything. And I think most men say this and they're able to communicate this effectively like this with women. But a lot of modern women don't like that answer. They don't like to feel like they can't handle men's emotions. They don't like to feel like a man's emotions and a man's mental state are too powerful for them. It's too overwhelming for them to handle. They've got their own thing going on. And what would it sound like if they gave their emotions to a man, but a man can't do the same thing in return? It would make you weak in that area. It would make you incapable in that area. And a lot of times these modern women don't like to feel that way. And so they just say, I'm looking for an emotionally vulnerable man. And when a man is emotionally vulnerable, they say, well, not like that. Give it to me like this. But then they'll come and dump on you just any kind of way. No filter, no nothing. But what they really mean by emotionally vulnerable is tell me how you're feeling but filter it so I can, handle it, so I can take it on. So if you're feeling sad, just tell me you're feeling sad. Well, sad about what? Well, things at work aren't really going all that well. Okay, well, everything will get better. And that's the end of the conversation. They don't want you, like he said, to say, work is going terribly. I don't know how we're going to be financially in 2 to 3 months. I think we're sinking, and we're sinking fast. I'm not sure what to do. I'm going to keep on trying to bang it out. But right now, it doesn't look that great. They don't want to hear that. Modern women don't really want to hear that. They want to hear, yeah, you're right. I'm going to get back out there, and I'm going to keep on hitting it. I'm going to hit it hard, and we're going to go back up, and we're going to make $1 million in the next month. That's what they want to hear. And then for their emotions, their psyche, they're going to feel great because they feel like they've really poured into you and bumped you up.
Did my dad text you? Now, why would I talk to your dad?
Well, he said I was supposed to send me money for my birthday.
Well, no, he didn't send me any money for your birthday.
He said that he sent me money.
If he did give me money, I would pocket it.
Well, that's not fair, Mom. Can't keep my birthday money. I'm just gonna spend the weekend at his house. We're gonna go shopping and stuff.
Why would you want to spend the night over there? All he does is talk crap about me, and you let him. You let him talk crap about me. Like, why do you want to spend time with him? Because he lets you do whatever the hell you want. That's all. You're gonna end up just like your dad.
9 times out of 10, you mean to your husband and you don't even know it. And I bet you're like, girl, what are you talking about? How do I find out if I'm mean to him? Try to be nice. I triple dog dare you to be nice to him. Go rub his back. Give him a compliment. Tell him he did good on the grass. Just give him a random compliment. And if he is taken back, if he's like, what's wrong with you? Why are you touching on me? Whatever the case may be, if he's taken back by your response, that 9 times out of 10 means you're usually nasty. You're usually rude. Because you know what I realized? A lot of people are mean girls, even to their husbands, and don't even know it. And they don't even know how to find out if they're mean girls. And if you don't want to physically act like you're nice or feel like that's just being fake or all this other kind of stuff, I guarantee you ask. That's the other way you could find out. Simply just ask. Ask him and ask your kids and ask your sisters. Ask people who are close to you how they really feel about you. How do you really treat other people? How do I treat you? Am I kind to you? Just ask. And that's how you really would know. See, the problem is people don't want to ask because they really are afraid of the answer. Because if you really found out that the answer was you're pretty nasty, you're a one-upper, you're pretty mean, you're pretty sarcastic, then that would destroy the image on how you view yourself. And that's not what you want to do, because who wants to believe that they're mean to the people that they love? All right, bye. Okay, bye.
Calling out hypocrisy, part 1.
Everyone keeps talking about the traditional roles, and I guess it is a man's job to provide.
So if it's a man's role to provide, will you take care of the house?
Of course.
Okay, so you will cook, clean, support him?
No.
No?
I will hire someone to do it.
You want a traditional husband, but you refuse to be a traditional wife. I mean, you will not provide, you will not clean, you will not cook, you will not support. Then what will you do? Exist?
No, but if I can afford it, if my man can afford it, then why? I'm giving birth to your kids, no?
So you want privilege of both genders, but accountability of none. What kind of mindset is this?
Obviously, if I want to work, I want to have my own side thing, I would love to. But it's not going to be to bring money in the house.
So she wants a man to work for both, even for the kids in future. But if she chooses to work, she will only work as a side thing for her passion, for her dreams, for her lifestyle. Not for contribution. Sounds double standards.
Okay, so what's the woman's role?
Taking care of the children. Giving birth.
So raising the children.
Giving birth is beautiful. It's a part of parenthood. It's not your lifetime exemption from contribution in the family, lady.
Interesting. Okay.
Marriage is a partnership, and know where it is reflected in her statements. Agree or disagree? Let me know in the comments.
You're wondering if your boyfriend is a narcissist? Something my therapist taught me a long time ago is that if you guys are fighting and he says something kind of mean to you or yells at you or upsets you in some way and you start crying and he doesn't try to comfort you.
Wrong. That's reductionistic. Turns out not all men are the same. I'm Max Butterfield, Dr. Max Butterfield. I study this kind of thing for a living. If you're tired of the hot takes from influencers, you want daily science-backed reels about love, dating, attraction, relationships, and a whole bunch of other cool stuff, follow me. I'll give it to you straight. It'll always be based on the science. I probably won't brandish a knife, however. Who knows? We'll see.
The male loneliness epidemic isn't just a social issue, it's a business model. Social media companies figured out that the isolated, angry man click more, buy more, stay online longer. So they feed them red pill videos, Sigma male grinds, hustle culture, outrage bait. Lonely men are profitable. And women, they've shown perfect lives, glow ups, dating advice that makes them spiral. Because anxious, insecure women buy more. Buy that skincare that makes you prettier. Buy that lipstick that fits you just right because of your skin tone. Feminine energy coaching, whatever makes them feel almost enough. Male rage gets monetized, female doubt gets commodified, and the algorithm wins while we lose each other. The algorithm isn't neutral, it's sexist, it's strategic, it's profitable, and it's selling us loneliness differently by gender. Whoa. Who said that? Who said that? Who said that? You're not broken. The system is.
I would hope one day that, in general, society would hear and accept a man's feelings. They wouldn't try to push it off to the side, because a lot of times the way a man expresses himself, it's uncomfortable. Because like the man said a few clips ago, if you fail, if you go down as the man, then what are we going to do? How are we going to survive? If my man isn't so confident about the future, then what am I going to do? Like, where are we going to go? And at that point, it's self-preservation. It's, well, maybe I have to go here. I have to jump ship. And that's what men are worried about. Men continue to tell you guys, and that's what these channels do. They're telling you, these are my fears. These are my worries. These are my concerns. I don't mind dating you. I love women. I want to be around a woman. I want to get married to a woman. But the conditions have to be where I feel comfortable too. Well, you got to take a risk. You got to be out there and you got to risk it for love. You don't sign no prenup, but take a risk in losing half your money when marriage 50% of the time ends up in divorce, and 70% of the time it's the other person filing, 90% if the other person is educated. Oh, and by the way, more women are getting more educated than men are. So it's looking like they're probably going to file for divorce. 50%. You got a 50% shot at your marriage working. So you got a 50% chance of working 20 years and then all of your stuff getting taken. 50% chance to keep that. Well, we both worked at it together. We did this. Yeah, but you know, if I get married, let's say the average age to get married is 30. Okay. Let's say I start working at 18. I spend a little over 10 years working to build something. And if I've gone to school, I've made a pretty good amount of money, right? But also you have people in the trades that are making bank. You have people out there on oil rigs making bank, blue collar jobs making bank. You don't really hear about it, but these boys are making money. Hand over fist. Like nobody, because it's a dirty job and because it's not glamorous, like say somebody in the NBA or like a CEO, and people really don't like to hear about it, then they don't really say, it's not really talked about like out loud. But imagine working that hard. And like I said, like these are physically demanding jobs. You work long hours for like 10 years to get up to that point, just to have a 50% chance to keep it all moving forward. A man is saying, this is how I feel. Can you give me some reassurance? Can somebody somewhere tell me why it's still worth it to do it? No, but what we can tell you is to be a man. Stop being a coward. Stand up. Man up. If the woman does you wrong, you're a man. What does it matter? If you lose half of your stuff, you're a man. What does it matter? If you have feelings and emotions that don't really get talked about and they get suppressed, you're a man. It doesn't matter. Why would we? It's not like we don't care, but there's more important feelings that you should be cared about. You should be caring about. You're the man. You come last. Like, you get to the back of the line. You're the strongest one. So we let the weak people, myself, even though I'm yapping at you, even though I'm telling you I'm stronger than you, still let me go first. Still put me up on the pedestal. Still be obsessed with me. Let me make the money. You go down to the hard jobs, the jobs that are for the quote unquote uneducated or for the quote unquote peasant class. You go down and do those. And you lift me up and let me do the jobs that are big girl jobs, as they say. Why would I care about your success? I want my success and I want you to support that. I want you to be on my train, but then somehow I want you to be the leader. How does that work? I want you to allow me to lead 90% of the time, or let me say 80% of the time, 70% of the time, when everything is going well, 70, 80% of the time, but then that last 20, 30%, I want you to step in and make the big critical decisions. But then at that point, I want you to essentially listen and make the decision I would want you to make. And you better make the right decision or I'm going to leave you. If a man has to deal with that type of pressure day in and day out, why in the world would he want to continue to roll the dice in a relationship? Does that make sense? Like I said, men are very logical in the way they think. It doesn't mean that they don't have emotions. It just means it's a risk assessment. If I know it's a good chance that I'm going to lose, why am I taking that risk? Unless the reward is good, unless the reward is really, really good, unless it's, well, I can justify taking the risk because the reward was great. But when you have a woman that's getting her she's out there. I'll say it like that. When she's out there all the time, you don't have any control. You don't get anything that you want, and she leaves you anyway. I just paid 30, 40K for nothing. I just paid 30, 40K and then lost half of my assets for nothing. It's not worth it, dude.